What's going on, guys? This is Nick, aka Master Chaos. I'm here with another deck profile, and this is my wife, lovely Christina. Say,
Hello.
say what's up. There you go. Yeah, this is basically her deck. We build the deck together. So, no further ado, I'm gonna show you the deck right now. It's the Narukami's. Yes, this is her favorite deck and actually her best deck that she has. Just like a couple of minutes ago, I actually did a little tweaking because she needed perfect guards. I put some perfect guards in there, so just to let you know, guys, because she has some crappy level 1s from the starter, so I took them out. But yeah, this deck has actually, beat me a couple of times. I beat her, we went back and forth, so yeah, we're gonna start off. Want to start off the deck?
Okay.
Come on, let's go. Don't be shy, babe. All right. What do we have right now?
Okay.
You gotta show the cards, babe.
Oh, well, I thought you...
Oh yeah, basically this one. All right, go ahead. So what's your starting Vanguard?
Well, so my starting Vanguard is Spark Kid Dragoon.
Okay.
And, of course I use him because he also becomes a rear guard. But I like him because when you counterblast one, you can search for a grade 3.
Exactly.
But you have to look up to 5 cards to do that.
Exactly.
So it's pretty much a luck of the draw right there. and if you get a level 3, you can keep it.
All right.
Depending on which one you want, you can choose.
No problem. That's good. So you want to show them your triggers?
Okay. They're not really much, but there's... The 4 stands are what you see here: a Dragon Dancer Katharina, which is a 5K vanilla.
You don't have to say all that. You can just say you got stand triggers. How many you have?
Okay, I got 4 stand triggers right here. You got Zephyr Kid, Hayate.
All right.
Okay. You got 3 of them, and I have a Dragon Dancer. I could have gotten another one of the Zephyr Kid, but she looked pretty, so
That's okay. You gotta become the artwork.
Yeah,
Nice.
So
move on.
There you go. And my 4 draw triggers, which is pretty basic, old Dragon Mage, nothing fancy.
Came in a trial deck.
And then you got the heal triggers, which of course are the Dragon Nymphs, the demonic Dragon Nymphs.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, not that big of a deal. And yellow gem carbuncles with a malevolent djinn. Well, I liked it because of the effect where you put the unit into your soul, choose up to one of your Narukami, and that unit gets 3,000 until the end of the turn. This is I usually use this as a last resort when I really need it. Because I usually use my zeros for mostly defense whenever I need to guard.
All right.
So I really don't pay much attention to the effects.
Let's go to the level 1s.
Okay. Level 1s. 4 Red River Dragoons. I really like these cards. They're very good with boosting. That's what I usually use them for. Mm-hmm. They're good boosters. I like them. They're what?
AK
Yeah, there you go. I'm horrible at this, but I'm trying.
It's alright. You're doing your best.
Okay, 4 perfect cards? Or
No,
3?
it's 3.
Okay, 3.
You had 1 before. I added those.
I had 1, yeah.
I took those from my deck, but it's fine.
People should already know what perfect guards do.
Exactly.
The name says it all. So, if whoever doesn't know, you discard a card and you guard from any attack, regardless of what it is.
All right. What's next?
I have a Lightning of Hope Helena. I don't usually use this a lot. This is like, whenever I need it to boost or whatever, I don't even use its effect. This is just like an extra for me. Well, people think it's good because you could draw a card, but personally, I don't use it whenever It pops. It's not that important to me. At least.
For me, I think it's a good effect, but for her, she thinks it's a waste. Because she doesn't. She would likes to keep her hand.
Hey, I'm still a beginner, so.
Whoa, one at a time. One at a time.
Okay.
They're different cards and not the same.
Right. I got a Photon Bomber Wyvern. I really like this one because I do get damage sometimes a lot. If you get 3 damage or more, this gains 4,000 more.
To your Vanguard.
Yeah, if you're boosting.
Yeah, only if you boost the Vanguard. That's the only sad part about it.
So that'd be 6 plus 4.
That's 10.
So it'd be 10.
Mm-hmm.
And this is pretty good. I use this a lot when I need it.
Mm-hmm.
And Dragon Dancer Rai, I think that's her name.
Right.
Of course she works with Thunderbreak Dragon, which is the only way I will put her on. I will put her down on the field. Yes, sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh thing, but it's the only way I'll put her down is if Thunderbreak Dragon is around. If not, and I need a last resort either for defense or just to boost, that's pretty much it.
And it has some nice artwork. It's cute. Go on.
I like the Jins because they're pretty good. Their effects are pretty good. If you put them on Vanguard Circle, they gain 4,000. If you put them on Rear Guard, they gain 2,000. The only thing with them is that they can't attack rear guards. I could give a crap because everybody usually likes to attack the Vanguard anyway. So, I really like them. So that's him.
Cool.
I personally am in love with the Thunderstorm Dragoon. I am in love with them because of how high their attacks are for a level 2. So not only that, I always use my level 2s. That's my thing. I always use level 2s on front as interceptors. I never ever like to put a level 1 up on front. I don't like to put level 0s down unless it's for emergency. I always either put level 2s in the front and level 1s in the back. That's all how I do it. I don't like to put... Because, I always think that defense is a lot better than offense sometimes.
Yeah, she plays quite different than I do. Go ahead.
So, we have... Did I ever have 4 of these?
No, I just added them too. You only have 1. I can't believe you only have 1.
What?
I took those 3 from my deck.
These are Demonic Dragon Berserkers. I really like them because if your attack goes through and hits a Vanguard, you can unflip damage, and you could that'd be good, whenever you want to counterblast more, especially when it comes down to Vermilion. So.
Exactly.
Okay, then we have Shield Blade Dragoon.
Oh, double shield.
I like this because, if you have him on the front, he intercepts and he'll gain 5,000 more. So it'd be 10,000 defense, basically.
That's why we call it a double shield.
So I like... Okay, that's what it's called? Okay.
That's what it's called.
I'm not familiar with the Vanguard slang now. But, I just play whatever. But, that's what they are, and I like them. I usually use them a lot. You'll see me put them in the front a lot. So, they're like my last resort, too. So, Dragona Death Scythe. I'm not a fan of this. A lot of people are. It's good in its own right, but the problem with it is the fact that you have to pay 2, Counterblast 2, just to stop a grade 2 from right?
You could stop.
It retires. No, choose 1.
Choose 1 if you're level 2 or less.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's worth the counterblast, the amount that they ask. You
gotta understand, this is like a Blaster Blade or a Berserk Dragon. They do the same thing. You counterblast 2 to retire a rear guard. Me personally, I like it,
especially when I have cards that stop level 2s from intercepting, and you don't really have to pay that amount, especially if you need to use Vermilion's attack or its effect. But,
that's why you got Garuda. Garuda does that. If it hits, hey, you can flip damage, and you do Vermilion's effect.
Yeah, well, it all depends on what you draw. I still think that Vanguard is more of a game based on luck. So
and skill. Depends how you play. Depends.
So, I have a Desert Gunner. Excuse me, Shiden. I like him, but you have to put him down at the right moment. Because if you put him down and you use him as a Vanguard, or and your opponent doesn't have level 2s or whatever, then there's really no point in it.
Yeah,
this is you have to put him down at the right moment type of card. Because it only works when it's placed. That's it. So
yeah, I actually would have put more, but they're triple rares and I never pulled them out, so I'm not paying money for just one card, so let's go on.
I have a Bright Jet Dragon. I like this because majority of the time my hand is less than my opponent's sometimes. So when your hand is less than your opponent, he gains 3,000. I think that's good since this deck is not based on drawing. So it's not an Oracle Think Tank. So there you go.
Next.
I love this one as well. This one's really good. The Djinn of the Lightning Flare. I really like this one too.
It's a level 2. It's basically all the Djinns that do the same effect.
Yeah, I like him, and when I need him, he's around. And speaking of which, level 3 Lightning Djinn, the Djinn of the Lightning Flash. I like him too. This is a last resort type of card as well. I don't usually like to use this a lot. It's not the star of the show. It's not what my secret weapon in winning.
Yeah.
But it is something when I need it.
He becomes a 4,000, so 14k, so it'll be strong, especially with the boosting.
Why do I have 2 Thunder Breaks? I thought I had 1.
I'll put another one in there.
That's no point. But Thunderbreak Dragon, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people think it's not that great or a big deal of a card. I like it because using it with Rai Rai could make up for some pretty sick damage. So that's why I usually use it.
And the limit break. Don't forget about the limit break.
He gains 5,000.
Exactly.
So that's what I say. If you use the limit break with Rai Rai, that's it. 25. That's a 25 right there. That's not bad. So I think people just underestimate this card. All right. Yes, I have a Vermilion, and yes, it's only 1. I don't have 4 like everybody else has. They try to be really fancy with it. I have 1. That's enough for me.
Me personally, I think 1 is enough in the deck.
Yes, I think so too.
Because really, limit break and you gotta have 4 damage, and then
it's just
Counter Blast 3 when it's almost like at the end of the game. I would say. The only reason why I believe you should have at least 1 more is because what if the damage goes through and you drop the Vermilion? Oh. That's what I believe. But personally, in my opinion, 1 or 2 should be enough. Because you're going to use them in late game. That's it. Unless you're running the blood. That's the only reason why.
Well, I don't have the bloods.
Yeah.
Not us.
And we're poor, so we can't afford.
Hell yeah. Shoot.
$35 for 1 card.
Crazy to be buying that much for cards.
$35 for a card. Crazy.
Yeah. Alright, now the stars of the show, I saved them for last. I haven't seen a lot of people use it. At least not the people I've played with. I don't know how many people use it. But I do have 4 Vajra Emperor Indra.
Yeah.
Vajra Emperor Indra. I really love it. I love these cards. It has its pros and cons to it. The pros meaning that if I have all of this and it's all here on the field, you counterblast 1 and...
For each.
No. You counterblast 1 for your Vanguard, and depending on how many cards of the same type are on the field, that's how many criticals you will have. So basically, well, it doesn't include this. So if I counterblast 1, there's 1, 2, 3, including, well, this already has a critical. So that'd be pretty much 4.
4 damage.
That'd be 4 criticals this thing would hit.
And believe me, people are gonna guard this because it's critical like crazy. They're gonna perfect guard it or just guard it.
Now that's the pros for it. If I attack you with this and it goes through, you have gotten 4 damage, unless you're lucky to get some sort of heal trigger. Whatever triggers you have to defend it, because it's pretty powerful stuff.
Trust me, when I was playing with her, I actually had one point when I was playing with the Nova Grapplers. I had her right there corner. She had 5 damage. I had 3. She came back with this. I blocked. She drew a trigger, and it was game. I was pissed.
Yeah.
So it's actually a lifesaver sometimes.
That's the pros. Now the cons of it is that, if I don't have enough cards to defend to the rears and the opponent attacks the rears, that's like criticals going down the drain. Like you're already losing criticals.
That's why me personally, I believe I should save them for last. Like if I have 1 in my hand, keep getting in, and if I have 2 in my hand, until I have at least 3 or 4, then I summon them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. These are last resorts. Like if you want to really defeat your opponent with style and you want to go out with a bang, use these at the last moment, because they will help you when you really need it. Now, like I said, the cons of it is if they attack any of the rears, that's it's done. It's done. You can't do it anymore. Depending, unless you have 1 left, you still have 2. It's
plus
something.
2 criticals.
It's something, but it's
Exactly.
It's still not enough. And not only that, the fact that their attack is not as high. It's just 10,000. I mean, it's not an 11k type.
If 11k, I'll be broken.
You would need a good card to boost this up for it to really go through. Unless your opponent ends up defending and guarding against
They're gonna guard.
Their attack will not go through. So that's like a counterblast wasted.
They're gonna guard. Believe it or not, they're gonna guard that.
Strategize on that particular thing.
The best way to attack and do counterblast if they have only at least 1 card in their hand or none. That's the only way. Or if they have 1 or none. Because the only way they could block this seriously is either 1 trigger pass, or if they have a perfect guard. That's the best way, but it works.
It does work.
They underestimate.
For people who are skeptical about it, because like I said, I haven't seen a lot of people play with these. Yeah. Yet I haven't seen it in the Narukami deck.
Because of the the attack is not really 11k as everybody else, or 13k because of the effects. It doesn't matter. As long as you boost her all the way, I would say her and the Dragoon, the level 1, the AK. Yeah. Right there. They're gonna guard it, yes, but still, you can still do the twin drive, draw trigger. It's game.
Yeah, that's it's also based on luck. I consider it that, because it all depends on what trigger you pull out for this to work. Because the way I beat him was where that story he was telling you, involving how I had 5 damage where he had 3. I had 3 of these on the field.
Yeah, you had 3 of those.
I had 3, and he had 3 damage. And when I attacked, and I had the 3 criticals attacking him, he guarded it, but I was lucky to have drawn a critical trigger at the time. And plus 5,000.
No, draw trigger.
It was a draw trigger?
It was a draw trigger.
Oh, okay. So I was lucky to have drawn a draw trigger where the
effect went through.
The effect went through because of the 5,000 that it gained. He couldn't guard anymore. And not only that, here's a good tip for those who want to beat him. If you take a very good look at your opponent's cards and how many cards they have, take a good look at it.
And that's what it's based on.
That's where you will know where this person is able to defend against half of your attacks or not. See, when I attack, I usually attack 1 at a time before I use the actual Vanguard to attack. Now, when I beat him that time, it was because I saw his hand. He only had, maybe 1 or 2 cards. So I assumed that if I attacked with the rear guards, he would try to find a way to block it and use it up. And once he used up all the cards left, I had no, he couldn't guard the last attack. So when that went through, and he either did you intercept?
No, I couldn't intercept.
Didn't work. No, you did. You did guard it, and that's why I pulled out the draw.
From my hand.
Well, apparently he did draw it, but luckily I drew a draw trigger and it went through, and it went from 3 damage to 6 altogether because of the 3 criticals I had.
Exactly.
So, like I said, if you're gonna look and try to attack your opponent, always look at how many cards they have too. Like if you're at your last limit and you look at it, depending, unless somebody has those Oracle think tanks, that's kind of a, they have all those cards in their hands, you're kind of screwed on that one. So that's pretty much it. That's the cards that I have.
Yeah, that's her deck profile right there. Yeah. It's pretty decent. It's not bad. Don't underestimate this deck. It actually won me a couple of matches when I went into a couple of locals, and every time I played, because I chose to play her deck besides mine, I have better chances of winning than my deck. I couldn't believe this. Well, at that time my deck wasn't complete, but now it is, so it is kind of better. But this deck is actually good. I love it. We built it together. It was one of the best decks that we have.
Yeah.
Alright guys, this is Nick, Master Chaos signing off, and Christina.
Bye.
Alright, later. Peace out.